My last video, I got more dislikes than likes. And for somebody who doesn't probably make those top-notch videos, that's kind of bad. But I figured I'd take this ride to explain why I bought the 2017 Suzuki GSXR 1000R. So, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube land, this is what happened. I was riding the ZX14, and let me just start this off by saying I am the first person to talk shit about Gixxers. I have thrown out more Gixxer gay memes and Gixxers are gay jokes and just general hate toward Gixxers than anybody that you will ever meet in your natural born life. If you ask any of my friends, they could barely believe I got a Gixxer. Like, I am the person who clowns on Gixxers so bad that my friends, like, as soon as they heard I was getting a Gixxer, all the gay memes were starting. I had friends asking me, did the bike come with a dildo? Have I felt gay towards men yet? That type of shit. The answer is no and no on both accords. Unfortunately, it came with no sex toys. Although I would have taken a fleshlight. But anyway, I bought this bike plain and simply because I really did love the ZX14 for the power, for the straight line performance. That bike, I can tell you from personal experience, in a closed legal course setting, will do in excess of 180 miles an hour if you push it long enough. That is a 180 mile an hour bike, and all I got was flash and swapped out the headers and put shorty pipes on it. Great bike. If you don't mind a heavy bike, the ZX14 was a really great bike. It was just too heavy for my taste, and I'm a big guy, but I just really like my light, nimble bikes. It makes making maneuvers so much easier, and in turn makes me feel a little bit safer. Just the fact that I can maneuver in and out of traffic. Somebody cuts me off, I feel like I can maneuver better on a smaller bike. That's just my personal feeling, which is part of the reason why I got the Gixxer. Now, the other part of the reason that I got the Gixxer, to be quite honest, is because after reading all of the reviews and everything about this bike, it was supposed to be faster than my BMW. As much as I make fun of Gixxer riders, Suzuki Gixxers are not bad, have never been bad motorcycles. Even when clowning on Gixxer riders, I mean, I'll tell anybody, you can look on my personal Facebook comments, I've said it more than one time, that Gixxers are really good bikes. I think it was motorcycle.com, Motorcycle Magazine. How much battery do I have left? Yeah. Sorry. One of the two that said, I think Suzuki was ranked number 2, neck and neck with Honda in reliability. And I like a reliable motorcycle. I really do. Now, BMW was ranked all the way back at like number 7. They were ranked fucking behind Harley, so that was pretty dumb of me. But, it's pretty, it's fast, and it's European. So everybody's got to have a pretty and fast European, just like our president. That's a different kind of fast, though. Anyway. But yeah, back to Gixxers. So yeah, Gixxers, like I said, great bike, reliable bike. And the reason, I don't know if most people know this, the reason that Gixxers have such a bad name and why people hate Gixxers so much is because they're such good bikes and because they're so cheap. Gixxer has always been the discount Honda, so they're more affordable. People can afford Gixxers more than anything else. So you want a shiny new bike, odds are you can afford a Gixxer. They've always been affordable, and because they've been affordable, because they've been reliable, and I mean, I could tell you a Gixxer is a reliable bike. I have seen guys just not take care of Gixxers, as most of those guys with bikes Some people call them squids. I call them guys with bikes because a squid is a very broad definition. But those types of guys who will buy a bike to ride with no helmet, possibly some t-shirts, shorts, flip-flops, some basketball sneakers, baseball gloves that match the outfit just to look cool, really aren't riders, but they're trying to pick up pussy on a bike. Those type of guys buy Gixxers, don't take care of them, and luckily for a lot of my friends, those Gixxers, oh god damn it, this is the wrong way. Those Gixxers that aren't really taken care of, those guys will sell them for really cheap, and they're still working, good functioning bikes. So that being said, Gixxers are really good bikes. They're really cheap, which makes them really accessible, which is part of the, oh puppy, which is part of the reason you see a lot of idiots buy them. And you know, that's pretty much why they have such a bad name. But as far as the machine, Suzuki is really good company, really good machine, really good bike. And I tell you guys, I am enjoying the fuck out of this bike. I really do like it. Other than the shit that I said about this bike, I really don't dislike the headlight. I really don't dislike the front end. I really have no problem with it. It is a little alien looking, but I was indifferent to it at first. Now it's actually starting to grow on me. But these ugly ass turn signals, I was serious. They got to fucking go. Cause no, these turn signals are ugly as fuck. It's like, yeah, that's not sexy. So the turn signals are ugly as fuck, and this exhaust, I don't have to say anything about this Gixxer exhaust because I think everybody on the internet before me has flamed this fucking exhaust. But let me tell you guys something about this exhaust in particular. I hear everybody giving Suzuki shit. Basically, I had to keep checking my battery. I hear everybody giving Suzuki shit about this big exhaust. And just the way I'm thinking, every bike manufacturer by now knows that the first thing motorcycle riders do, or any bike owner, well, I guess they would be motorcycle riders unless you are like Jay Leno and just want to keep it in the garage. Anyway, tangent. Any motorcycle rider, the first thing they do on a stock bike is change out the exhaust. Now, if I was in Suzuki's position and I was trying to come out with the fastest production sport bike, but I had to meet Euro 4 emissions like they now have to. Consider this. How do you meet Euro 4 emissions, make the fastest bike, and still make the emissions test? Like, how do you do that? I know. We'll put a huge, ridiculous can on here that somebody's going to change out anyway, so we can have a ridiculously fast bike to beat all the other bikes in speed and in power, and we could still meet Euro 4 emissions, and fuck it, they're going to change out the exhaust anyway, so why not make an ugly exhaust? I'm pretty sure that's the thought process Suzuki used, because that's the thought process that I would use. No one gives a fuck. I mean, I'm changing this exhaust right now. Hell, the only reason that this stock exhaust is still on this Gixxer, bear in mind, I bought this thing last Thursday. I'm making this video on a, what is it, Tuesday or Wednesday. I've already put 330.8 miles on it, by the way. Just so you guys know, I've actually been riding the shit out of this thing. And my BMW too, but I like riding. Anyway, I digress. The only reason that the stock exhaust is still on this bike is because I can't order an aftermarket exhaust. I actually tried to order an aftermarket exhaust and have it put on before I left the dealership. I wanted to pay for the aftermarket exhaust and have the dealership put it on before I took the bike. But that wasn't an option because they weren't available yet. I like this bike. I'm really enjoying it so far. Probably in the next week or so, maybe sooner, I'll do the 600-mile review, probably on my way from the 600-mile service. I'm at 330 miles yet. I'm still collecting my thoughts, the things I like, the things I don't like. It's pretty much all going in the win column, man. Between this and the BMW, It's really coming down to creature comforts when I do a bike comparison. But anyway, that's later videos. But alright guys, if you are not riding, start riding. If you are riding, keep riding. And I am really sorry that I did most of this video in fucking traffic, but that's Denver for you. Alright guys, peace.